The secret life of the giant Pacific octopus. Somewhere in the cold, dark waters of the North Pacific, a creature with 3 hearts, blue blood, and 9 separate brains is quietly starving itself to death on purpose. It's the largest octopus on Earth, smart enough to open jars and recognize human faces, and yet it will live only a handful of years before ending its life in one final, silent act of sacrifice. This is the secret life of the giant Pacific octopus. The scientifically named Enteroctopus dofleini is the largest octopus species in the world. It's found along the cold coastal waters of California, Oregon, Washington, British Columbia, Alaska, Russia, Japan, and Korea, thriving best in oxygen-rich water no warmer than about 9 degrees Celsius. A typical adult weighs between 22 and 110 pounds, with an arm span reaching up to 14 feet, as long as a small car. But the record holders are almost unbelievable. One confirmed specimen weighed nearly 200 kilograms, over 400 pounds, with an arm span close to 20 feet. Scientifically, this creature belongs to the cephalopod family, meaning head-foot, because its 8 arms connect directly to its head. And technically, they aren't tentacles at all. Scientists insist on calling them arms. Sections 2. A body built like no other. 235. This creature has no bones at all. 90% of its body is pure muscle, which means the only part of it that can't squeeze through a gap is its hard, parrot-like beak, hidden right at the center where all 8 arms meet. In fact, a 50-pound octopus can squeeze its entire body through a hole just 2 inches wide. Each arm carries roughly 2,000 to 2,240 suckers, and here's the strange part. Those suckers don't just grip, they taste. The octopus can identify exactly what it's touching just by brushing against it. Its blood runs blue instead of red because it uses copper-based hemocyanin instead of iron to carry oxygen, an adaptation that works better in cold, low-oxygen water. And instead of 1 heart, it has 3, 2 pumping blood to the gills and 1 keeping the rest of the body alive. Without a shell to protect it, survival depends entirely on not being seen. The giant Pacific octopus carries one of the most advanced camouflage systems in the animal kingdom. Millions of tiny elastic cells called chromatophores sit under its skin, each one packed with pigment. By stretching or squeezing these cells in an instant, the octopus can shift its entire skin color to match rocks, coral, or sand in a fraction of a second. And here's the twist that stuns scientists. The octopus is completely colorblind. It can't see color at all, yet it matches its surroundings almost perfectly using only the texture and brightness it detects with its eyes. On top of color, it can also change the actual texture of its skin, turning smooth or bumpy to mimic rock or coral. If camouflage fails, it has a backup plan: shooting a cloud of ink made from melanin to confuse a predator, then jetting away by forcefully expelling water through its siphon. Section 4. A nighttime hunter. 355. The giant Pacific octopus is largely nocturnal, hunting after dark for crabs, shrimp, clams, lobsters, and fish. It's also a surprisingly opportunistic predator, known to eat sea urchins, seabirds, and even small sharks. Once it captures its prey using camouflage, quick jet propulsion, and an iron grip, it drags the meal back to its den. There, it uses one of 3 techniques to get inside hard-shelled prey: pulling the shell apart with brute strength, cracking it open with its beak, or literally drilling a hole through the shell and injecting a chemical that dissolves the flesh inside. Afterward, it tosses the empty shells just outside its den, creating a trash pile scientists call a midden, or more poetically, an octopus's garden. Researchers actually study these piles to learn exactly what each individual octopus has been eating. 5. What truly sets this creature apart is its intelligence. The giant Pacific octopus has the highest brain-to-body ratio of any invertebrate on the planet, and it's one of the only invertebrates ever named in the Cambridge Declaration on Consciousness, a scientific statement that recognizing that certain animals show the neurological signs of conscious awareness. In captivity, these octopuses have learned to open jars, solve mazes, and recognize individual human caretakers, even reacting differently to people they like versus people they don't, sometimes squirting water at staff members they seem to dislike. Their curiosity and dexterity have also earned them a reputation as notorious escape artists, capable of lifting tank lids and slipping out entirely when researchers aren't watching. Despite its size and intelligence, the giant Pacific octopus isn't invincible. Harbor seals, sea otters, sperm whales, and Pacific sleeper sharks are among its natural predators, along with large fish and seabirds that target its eggs and young. As for humans, this octopus poses very little danger. It typically avoids divers altogether, and while its bite does carry mild venom, it isn't considered fatal with proper treatment. The relationship actually runs more in the other direction. This species is commercially fished across North America and Japan, both for food and as bait, with several thousand tons caught every year. The good news is that the IUCN Red List currently classifies the giant Pacific octopus as a species of least concern, and populations are believed to be relatively stable, though scientists note that its true population size remains largely unknown, and rising ocean temperatures from climate change could eventually threaten how its eggs develop. Set the heartbreaking ending. And now, the part of the story that makes the giant Pacific octopus so unforgettable. Unlike most animals, it lives almost its entire life in complete solitude, and mates only once, right near the very end. After mating, the male dies within just a few weeks. The female then finds a secluded rocky den and lays up to 100,000 eggs in long, delicate strands hanging from the ceiling of her lair. For up to 6 or 7 months, she never leaves. She doesn't hunt. She doesn't eat. She spends every moment gently blowing water over her eggs to keep them oxygenated, cleaning them, and guarding them from predators. By the time her eggs finally hatch, her body has completely given out from starvation, and she dies, often within days of her babies entering the world. She never gets to see them. The newly hatched young are barely the size of a grain of rice. They drift near the ocean's surface as plankton for weeks or even months before finally settling onto the seafloor, where the exact same solitary, 3 to 5 year cycle their mother lived begins all over again. Giant Pacific Octopus is one of the most intelligent creatures ever to evolve in our oceans, capable of learning, remembering, and even forming preferences about the humans around it. And yet its entire existence builds toward a single act of sacrifice for a future generation it will never meet. It's a strange, brilliant, and quietly devastating life, hidden just beneath the surface of the Pacific. If you want to uncover the next secret the ocean has been keeping, hit subscribe, because this is only the beginning.